one more thing before I go to, I think I mentioned this before, if not, here we go. This is actually my Magic Band. So I actually popped the little puck out of the Magic Band Plus, bought the little thing off Etsy, but I'm going to learn how to, not learn, but I'm going to find the file how to 3D print these because I want to make one for my cousin. But anyways, yes. And I put it onto the carabiner hook. So that's my little thing I like to carry around. So if you're wondering what this is sometimes, I do carry my Magic Band Plus on my backpack or hooked on right here, so it's easier to just take off. And now in Disneyland, it's mostly used for your tickets and pretty much the shows. I know in Walt Disney World, this is like your key to the world, literally there. Your room key, your payment, everything. So I'm ready when I go to Walt Disney World, just saying. It's a beautiful day here in California. This is my type of weather. Now, you already know I like to walk to the park, so I usually come to the downtown Disney. But right now, I'm going to make my way to the Disneyland Hotel because I want to check for a certain piece of merchandise I believe that just got released. Well, not released, but it is new. If you have seen their theme park backpacks, I do have the 70th. There is a classic black one, but I believe they just came out with like a tan / sand color, which I'm kind of interested in, so that's what I'm going to first. Made it into the Disneyland Hotel courtyard. But if you're ever looking for a piece of merchandise, head to straight ahead to Fantasia. That's kind of like where the Diamond in the Rough, where they have kind of like that one piece of merchandise that you are looking for. Just purchased this new backpack. I already have too much bags, but yeah, I still like to collect them now. This is new to me. I think the new color came out because they do have just the all black one, but now they have like a tan. I did bring that, but that's already full, so I'll put this inside of here. So I already have my 70th one, like I was already mentioning, and now I have a tan one. Maybe when I eventually get my embroidery machine, I'll probably embroider right here so I can have something a little more custom, but otherwise, it's like their standard backpack. You do have a front pocket, but cool thing about these is that, let's see, if you did have headbands, you can put it right here, and it does have a standard laptop compartment. So here's a laptop compartment. So yeah, it's a standard backpack, but honestly, with my discount, it came out to about 51. So not a bad deal. It's normally 64, and I saved like 12 bucks, so not pretty bad. So I probably will be coming back for the original one, the all black with the white D, but as right now I got the sand with the black D. Like that, we are in downtown Disney. This kid only took a little while, but we're going to make our way into Disneyland. If the monorail is open, that is where I'm going to be taking. I feel like I should go, I'm going to go in there and watch GTA. No, not. You know, I've never been here this early in the morning. I usually come at night. Well, we're a little photo of Disney throwback. I know here they have the new ID cards, which I might stop by on the way out to grab one of those, but right now I'm going to be heading to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge because there is a Slushy coffee that I want to try. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Then I'll probably walk around the park to see what's new, what's going on. After that, make my way home. She is open and I'm making my way. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you as well.
Oh, my bad. Was going to go the wrong side, even though it said exit only. Oh, our girl is just about to leave. Go grab the next one. Did you guys know the original theme for Downtown Disney was leaves? That's why you see the leaves everywhere. On the floor, the monorail station are giant leaves, the planners are the shape of giant leaves. So yeah, that was the original theming for Downtown Disney, were leaves. And the orange monorail just pulled into the station. So blue left. It was probably about a 5-minute wait before the orange came in, but out to the park.
those of you who have just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland monorail. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Watch your children, and no smoking, please.
Bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los niños. Por favor, se ruega no fumar. Gracias.
We're now en route to our final stop, the Tomorrowland monorail station. Along the way, you can get a bird's eye look at the downtown Disney district, Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, and Disney California Adventure. To the left of the monorail is the main entrance of Disneyland, the happiest place on Earth. Disneyland is truly an American original. Since its opening in 1955, it has hosted hundreds of millions of guests from around the world, including presidents, kings, and celebrities. It is the original Disney theme park, created and enjoyed by Walt Disney himself. This is Tomorrowland, a land inspired by science fact and fantasy. Below us is the Submarine Lagoon, where you can dive into a fantastic underwater adventure aboard the Finding Nemo submarine voyage. Across the way are the icy peaks of Matterhorn Mountain, home of the world's most famous bobsled run. And beneath us is the Autopia, where drivers of all ages can travel the road to tomorrow. As we cruise... To the right of the monorail, you just might spot the sparkling gold spires of one of Disney's most beloved attractions, It's a Small World. And now we're riding alongside the happiest kingdom of Fantasyland, home to Pinocchio, Snow White, Peter Pan, and other storybook characters. We're now approaching the Tomorrowland monorail station, our final destination. Please remain seated until the monorail comes to a complete stop. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the train. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us, and we hope you'll have a happy and memorable visit here at...
Just like that, after a 5-minute ride from downtown Disney to Tomorrowland. Like I said, it is a beautiful day here in California. A little overcast, which I like. The Finding Nemo ride. The exit of the ride, technically. But let's make our way through Tomorrowland into Galaxy's Edge. Like I said, there is a cold brew. They have the Black Calf cold brew, which they normally have. But then at Kasaka's Pop Crane or Popcorn Stand in the marketplace, they have a Black Calf cold brew slushy with Oreo bits on top. I'm a sucker for Oreos. Just a sucker for cold brew anyways. But yes, that's where our next destination is. Then they did do an update in Galaxy Edge, where before Galaxy Edge was kind of like its own standalone land, you could say, where it was only mentioned twice in the Star Wars universe, but now they actually brought the prequels into Galaxy's Edge, which I kind of think it should have been from the get-go, where it requires all the Star Wars stories, but for about 5-6 years they had it just Galaxy's Edge, where it was like its own thing. I feel like a lot of guests didn't really understand what was going on in that land, so they finally did the update instead of having everything in Tomorrowland, which Tomorrowland is a little, I'll be honest, dilapidated. It's not that feature no more, it's very dated. And as the Galaxy's Edge, that's where all the Star Wars characters should be. It's really not that bad for a Saturday. I mean, it is packed, it is morning. Nemo's still a short queue. Matterhorn has a long line, but Matterhorn always has a long line. And if you guys are planning to come around May or June, just a heads up, it is grad season, so there are going to be a lot of grad kids here running around. It's not a bad thing, but the wait times do skyrocket, so it's best to try to get all the good rides in early in the morning. And the thing about grad night is that all day the kids can go back and forth between both parks, so that's Disneyland and California Adventure. But I believe by 9 o'clock at night, all the kids have to be in California Adventure and they get locked in. No one in, no one out until the event's over, which I believe it's around 2 or 3, but that's grad night in a nutshell. Now, you know what would be cool if they turned Autopia and Submarines, I get their opening day attractions, and I highly doubt they'll probably ever get rid of them, but it'll probably be cool if they were to get rid of both these attractions and bring Tron light cycles, because if you still look on top right there, they still have the People Mover / rocket rods. So yeah, like I said, Tomorrowland's very dilapidated, but if they were to get rid of these two attractions and maybe Innoventions, which is that big round building in Tomorrowland, and bring Tron light cycles, that would probably be a good ride, because honestly this is a lot of property that these two attractions have. Oh no, someone spilled their popcorn. That is a very sad day in Disneyland. That popcorn is a 10 out of 10. Now I did remember when I did work here way back, probably about 10 years ago, I used to close the park like at 2 o'clock in the morning, or get off at 2, and sometimes the ODV vendors, instead of throwing stuff away, they bring it to the stores and ask if any of us wanted it. I literally walked out with a trash bag full of fresh popcorn, because instead of tossing it, they didn't want to, they'll just give it to cast members. But yeah, everyone took what they wanted, and I was like, whoever just want the rest, can I have it? Yeah, so I ended up walking out with a trash bag full of Disney popcorn, and believe me, it lasted us for a couple days. Now, Fantasyland is where all the congestion happens between King Arthur's Carousel, Dumbo, and Casey Jr. Like the main congestion area, because this is the link between East and West. So East side will be like Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, and West side will be like New Orleans, Adventure, and Clear Country. But literally, instead of the hub being always congested, this area is always congested. Plus, it's very small to walk through, so it doesn't help they have strollers too. But cast members are always trying to do their best to help the guests out and accommodate them. But yes. And then, like, having East and West with Disneyland, you would also consider North would kind of be like Galaxy's Edge and Toontown, because those are technically out of the brim of Disneyland. If you don't know what a brim is, it's pretty much like a big barrier that keeps the outside noise from the inside noise. And that's what kind of transports you into Disneyland, because you only hear the sounds Disney has, as you don't hear the sirens, the traffic. But yes, that's what it is. Now, this has always been my favorite entrance, the Fantasyland entrance. But yes, they consider the Fantasyland entrance because this entrance pretty much enters through Fantasyland. You do have your magic key right here. But honestly, I like when you pass through this tunnel, how the land slowly opens up and you see the flags. And thing too, they were able to bring more Star Wars merchandise here instead of only having land exclusive stuff, which they still do, but I hope you guys can't hear that music, but if you guys do just come, it is the classic trilogy music playing out through the land now. But literally, I always mention this, I always come during nighttime, but my favorite thing about this land too is it's not a brand, it's brand new, but it looks very, it's like it's been through a couple things. Okay, so now a new update too is before, this was all docking bay 9, so like first order, but if you actually look above the thing, those are actually the symbols for where the Batuans live. You have Gama, Pika, and Sarbat. And if you know what those, if you want to know what those are, there's a book out there called like Black Spire Travel Guide that has everything to Black Spire Outpost, so it actually explains those flags. And also too, they got rid of, not rid of it, but it became Black Spire surplus, so pretty much anything kind of like pre-trilogy is here. It's kind of a mixture. I mean, they still have first order cargo, but it's like a mixture of all kinds of merchandise throughout the Star Wars series. I mean, I guess you fully can't get rid of the first order, so you do have some of the stuff here. They also brought some snacks into the galaxy that are themed, which is pretty cool. The Pew Pew Chews Undead. Also, too, they made the catchers look more worn. Before they're very clean and pristine, but now they look more worn and beat up. I want to say that's pretty much, I won't say that major really update. I know there's another update coming towards Smuggler's Run, which is going to be starring Grogu and the Mandalorian the 21st. I was excited because today was Saturday and they actually had a reservation for Saturdays, which are very rare. So when I had the chance, I took it because I don't come during the daytime and I really don't come on Saturdays. So it's like kill two birds with one stone kind of deal. Okay, so not much has really changed in Brew. You still have some of the same things, but now they actually have a cantina, some of the merchandise. They have some of the glasses, a sweater, and a t-shirt. So not that much, pretty much still the same. Oh, and DJ Rex t-shirt, so a lot of stuff is still the same in here. So I got the cold brew slush. This is so good. The cold brew is already sweetened with the cold, like a nice soft top and Oreo crumbles on top. This is a 10 out of 10. I love this. And it comes with that paper straw, not a fan of, but it's a boba size straw. I love it. So more towards the original outpost, or should I say the first order area, the droid depot, that has all the new soundtrack, as the Rise of Resistance actually has the old soundtrack. If you kind of listen to it, you kind of hear it's more like you're walking in a forest where you hear little creatures or something like that, but this is a 10 out of 10, a certified chugger. Now I make my way out, and as you go through the tunnels, they actually are playing the classic music. But overall, it was a pretty good Disney trip. I got a new backpack, which I think they just came out with. Plus, I got my Black Spire or Black Calf Cold Brew Slush, which the cold brew is really sweet, and with the Oreos and the cream on top, mix it all together. It's like cookies and cream cold brew. So good. Look at that beautiful view. Now they are still continuing work on the Penny Arcade, the Candy Palace, and Coke Corner. They do have the scrims up to make it look like nothing's going on, but stuff's going on. Plus, Carnation Cafe. It looks like they actually kept the original sign from Carnation Cafe. And not much other refurbishment. Oh, I want to check these out real fast. These are also new too. You see those jackets in the window? They have a Tigger, a Mickey Mouse, and a castle. Those ones just came out. I'm all in for this one. I love embroidery. That's literally what I do on the side. And they are a zip up, which is pretty cool. I would honestly rock the castle and Mickey Mouse. Now, if you wonder why they take off the price, it's because they found out it's actually a good seller sometimes, and they'll actually up the prices more and more. So that's a common thing, because sometimes the prices do come on them, but they'll rip them off because they did a markup on them. That's usually what it is. As of right here, it was $69, so that could be the price, or it could even be even higher. But this video price sounds like I'm constantly holding my breath or my out of breath. It's not that. It's just that I'm barely getting over like a slight cold, and this congestion has lasted a long time. Believe me, a long time. And every chance I get, I've been trying to get rid of it, but most times it's because I got that little slight cough, and it's been with me for almost about a month now. I've been trying to get rid of it, but I can't. But anyways, that's a different story. But we're officially walking out. One thing I always like I know a lot of people are interested in too, is the merchandise. Because I used to work in it for 8 years, so it's always good to see what's new and what's coming out. I must get that jacket before it leaves because 70th is going away. Ooh, that's nice. I got that one. Oh, that's right. They just released the 70th. I believe that Spirit Tee is new. The last of the 70th. So what they have there, that's new. I mean, no, they have there. I mean, that will be the last design they have for the 70th. What else? Still the 70th anniversary. Personally, it feels like they could have done a better. I mean, it probably feels like I'm beating up Disney, but there's certain things that feels like they could have done better on. But I'm not beating up. It's just, oh, that's cool. I like that. I like these, but my only downfall is my arms are big. But I was still walking. Excuse me there. Like I said, that's going to be the last design of the 70th for the Spirit Tees. Let's see. These are pretty cute. You have a... They look like the three godmothers from Sleeping Beauty. Baseball tees or jerseys are in right now. At Disney, they have a polo. I want this, but only if it comes in a Woody and Buzz, so me and my brother can rock it. My Crocs, I rock those all the time. Plus, I got the glow-in-the-dark things to keep stuff from going in. I did take one out so that my foot could breathe, but we do have a bag now. Kind of like your classic branded Disney stuff, but I believe that's it for today's adventure. It is glue though, which I do like. Again, City Hall does have quite a long line, and if you ever see a cast member with a grabber and they kind of dress semi-business casual, that's going to be a manager. So usually they're always around. You'll always see them. They blend in like normal guests, but if you ever see someone with like a trash picker, most likely going to be your manager. But anyways, I believe that's it. You know, it's kind of fun giving out little small tips and secrets of Disney and things to look out for, things I like to look out for. Now, one of my favorite games I always like to play while I'm in the park is trying to spot the hidden speakers. And by that, I mean there are speakers everywhere, but they're literally hidden in plain sight. Like in Galaxy's Edge, as you walk through the cave or the tunnel, it's actually, those speaker screens are actually part of the rock work. But yeah, it's always one of my favorite things I like to play as a guest, is trying to find all of the hidden speakers, because they blend them so well that you don't even realize. And one thing to look out for too is if you are traveling from land to land, you're going to notice there's no music playing through that land or through that little area, because they consider it no man's land and you're in the transition from one land to another. But I believe that's it for today's video. I won't go through the exit, make my way onto the tram, or just walk back. Not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but otherwise I think that's it for today. My friend said that watching my videos is like walking with me through the parks. I mean, everyone has their own different point of view of Disney. It's just, I was one of those people that always like to find all the details, the hidden things. I always like knowing all the background stuff that goes on, because that's just kind of like what I like to do. But knowing things to look for, things to see or watch out for, are just small little details that I feel like a lot of people miss out through the daytime, or as they visit, or if you're a Magic Key holder, annual pass holder, same thing. You get to see things change over time, and that's one thing I also like coming to, because you guys get to see what I see as things change over time at the parks. The line to get into California Adventure is actually not that long. If you're wondering what that is, I think I mentioned before, it's actually a music box. Now, when the 70s first started, they were actually playing like music box music in the Esplanade, which this is right here. And a lot of people said it made them sleepy, so they decided to change it to the traditional Disney music. But yes, it's not a bad day to come to the parks. Lost in Line found is pretty long. Now, if you want to hear a funny story, one of the cast members I used to work with used to come here with their husband, and instead of the husband paying for a sweater, he used to jump in the Lost and Found line. Said that he lost a black extra large hoodie or two at whatever size he was, and they would bring out different ones, and he would choose the best one that looked the cleanest and wear it through a park. And after he was done, he would just put it on top of a trash can so they can bring it to Lost and Found. Now, I don't know if that's funny, gross, or just smart, but I guess there's a fun little tip you could probably use if you want free clothes. I'm not saying take advantage of it or do it, but that's what they used to do. And the portals construction is coming along. There is a big pile of dirt behind there, and that big building, which they normally call, is actually Story of the World here in California. And last time we came with my cousin, she was wondering what that color is called. It's actually called Go Away Green, because it goes away without even realizing. Then if you see like a blue color, which never been, but at Walt Disney World Guardians show building is actually kind of like partly blue. It's called Bye Bye Blue. So those are like the two main colors Disney uses to make things go away in plain sight, if it makes sense. But yeah, cool little fun fact too. Now in the comments below, I want you guys to see if this is the best ride, or the first ride of your day, or the last ride of your day, or does it even count as a ride? Personally, I say it counts as a ride because it is the first ride you get on to come to the parks, and it's also the last ride you get on to go home. So, and one of my favorite seats to get in is the very front, because it's nice and roomy. Just like that, I am on the board. Now, if you're wondering what this is actually my new little mic, so this is why reason I'm also making this video too.
To my guests on board, our tram is getting ready to depart. Please remain seated, keep the doors closed. Driver, you're clear.
Bam, bam. Anyways,
For your
brand new
safety,
mic.
remain seated with the
I actually have my
doors
big one,
closed.
which is with my
Keeping
DJ
your
Osmo
hands,
Pocket 3.
arms, feet,
But I got
and
this one so I can
legs
connect to my
inside while the tram moves.
Insta360, which is pretty much
Supervise your
I
children.
came to use because I am trying some new settings on it. But yes, that is what I'm currently using. Now, before we go to, let's give you a nice little ride on the tram back to the Mickey and Friends and Pixar
Please stay seated
parking
until the next
structure.
stop and inform the nearest cast member. Thank you.
Now, every time when me and my mom used to come, this little island right here always looked like it was like prehistoric plants. Only it belongs on the train, but here's our view. Believe me, when I used to work here, you're gonna hear me say that a lot when I used to work here, because I did a lot of stuff. I walked around. I used to know how to get. I used to know how to get around the whole park without being seen. So like literally walking backstage, but literally I've been through all this right here, which is one of my favorite areas to walk.
If you'll be leaving the guest parking area and returning later today, just show today's parking ticket to re-enter the parking area. You can enjoy magic all year round by upgrading via the official Disneyland app before the end of the day. As you travel through our resort, we'd like to remind you that our guest parking areas have a speed limit of 14 miles per hour.
He asks that you please observe this speed limit and yield the right-of-way to Disneyland Resort vehicles, whether you're walking or driving.
Another thing too, if you wonder why Disney has a speed limit at 14 miles per hour, it's kind of like a psychological thing, because everyone knows it's usually 15 miles an hour, but if they have you remember a odd number, like really 14, you're actually paying more attention to your speed in the parking structure instead of just going with the speed. So that's a lot of like psychological thing that kind of Disney does too, is they'll have you remember something odd so you can remember it, versus having something that's kind of like standard in normal areas. But yes, believe me, I found out the hard way, in a way. Not going to, that's another story I'm breaking into. I have a lot of stories. Comment down below if one day you just like me to tell me all the funny and odd things about all the stories that happens here in Disneyland. Now, if you're wondering right there, that's your cast member walkway to get into
This will be our one and
backstage.
only stop at the
And believe me, just
Smuggler
like all,
Links structure. The next round reaches a full and complete stop. Everyone's going to be exiting out to our driver's right-hand side. That's going to be the driver's right-hand side only for your exit. Please wait for the tram to make a full and complete stop.
so I exit to the left. That's right. But anyways, that walkway, just like all the guests go through security screenings, bag checks, and metal detectors, cast members do the exact same thing. Even though we work here, doesn't mean they're just going to let us walk in. Believe me, when I used to work in merchandise, part of my costume was I had to carry a box cutter, because I would constantly be opening boxes and breaking them down and just receiving the boxes. And one time I had to walk through, and they went through all my stuff and they found my box cutter. Now they're like, we're going to have to take this. I'm like, go ahead, it don't matter. I didn't even tell them I was part of merchandise. I mean, literally, I scanned my ID and everything, but took my box cutter. I didn't care, because literally I just told them where I had where I checked in and where I did my work. It was underneath Peter Pan's ride. But anyways, no, Mr. Toad. No, Pinocchio. Sorry. But yes, and I'm getting a brand new box cutter. It has some very sharp blades in it that help me break down the box. Honestly, that was probably one of my favorite things to do, was break down boxes, because I got to just keep quiet, mind my business, and do my work, which is one thing that I like to do. But earlier this wasn't working. Now it's working. But God, I love coming to Disney. Knowing that I'm a magic key holder and can just come and go as I please is one of my favorite things. Now folks, if you did like today's adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell button, so every time I upload a new adventure, you guys will be the first to know. And like I always say, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. If you can subscribe to this, because my goal this year is to try to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can reach my goal on YouTube, but I would greatly appreciate it if you can share it to your friends and subscribe, because that is my goal, because yeah, that's just my goal this year.